Hi, this is Dr. Jelunder Clark here at Wellness Medicine, where we are paving a pathway in medicine to build bridges to optimal health and wellness. Of course, here the people who are looking to help are those who are looking for vibrant and optimal health. So we've had some really great weeks here with some great information and also some great people being able to talk and give us more information, especially in reference to prediabetes as well as cardiovascular disease. Well, you know what? This is just such a pivotal topic right now talking about cardiovascular disease. I wanted to really spend some time on this, really break this down to make sure that we're really understanding where we're really going with this. Well, listen, again, we're going to take a short break, but we'll be back to really get this show rolling. So if you want more information about what it is we're talking about or want to be able to see more events and things about what we're about, please look for us at wellmed.us. Again, WELLMED.us, wellmed.us, and we will see you in a little bit. Well, welcome back. And once again, I'm Dr. Jelunder Clark here at Wellness Medicine. So we're going to get this segment started talking about cardiovascular disease. Now, one of the things I do want to point out when we're talking about cardiovascular disease, that actually can be broken down to a couple of different topics. We can talk about strokes with that. We can talk about, of course, heart disease within itself, and then also hypertension can actually come under that. But then, of course, the biggest one is heart attacks. So what I want to do, I actually have some information for you from the American Heart Associations, and I want to make sure I get these statistics right. So I'm actually going to read it directly from the information I got to make sure we've got the right information, and you're definitely getting the correct information as well. So technically, cardiovascular disease is the leading global cause of death, accounting for 17.3 million deaths per year, a number that is expected to grow to more than 23 million by the year 2030. And also, this totals about 45 deaths within 30 minutes that we're actually dealing with. Cardiovascular disease claims more lives than all forms of cancer combined. Another thing that I really found very interesting when we're talking about cardiovascular disease is we actually spend more than $320.1 billion a year. It is one of the most leading causes for health expenditures and also loss of productivity. Heart disease is the number one cause of death in the world and the leading cause in the United States, killing, again, 375,000 Americans per year. As I'm talking about this subject, one of the things I want to do is I'm going to break this down. So the first one I actually want to talk about is more of heart disease in itself and actually talking about having heart attacks and things of that sort. So what I found really interesting about that is I got some good news. So from the year 2001 to 2011, there actually was a decrease in cardiovascular disease by 39%. That's great, but what we did find is that the burden of risk factors along with that still remain about the same. The other issue with that is even though there was a decrease more or less in deaths with that, but get this, the cost of healthcare to be able to manage those disease processes increased by 29% within this time frame. So here we are again at Wellness Medicine. Of course, one of the main things we always look to do is we are paving a pathway in prevention as well. So does this seem realistic when we've been talking about these numbers? Yes, we are increasing lives and livelihoods, but what we really need to do, and what I really feel we need to be headed to, is a preventative course, prevention. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. And as we see with these numbers here, of course, everybody's really concerned not only about are we able to offer health care, but about the burden of healthcare costs. So what I love about what we do here is being able to focus on some of the tests that we do, of course, with advanced lipid testing and things of those sorts. And we are looking at biomarkers for cardiovascular disease processes. When we're able to find something that's going wrong with the body metabolically, then guess what? That gives us an opportunity to be able to intervene at a whole different level than we are once the disease process has occurred. So the difference is I'm able to implement issues and more or less give you opportunities to be able to increase your health in the office instead of having a acute event to happen and then we're trying to tackle it or someone else is tackling it in the emergency room or in the ICU. Very big difference. So therefore, it is definitely taking some time out to not only just look at your health itself, but get proper blood testing done to see exactly where you are and where your risk factors really are as well. Now, the American Heart Association really has about 7 things that we look at when they're talking about your risk factors. And of course, number 1 is smoking. And I promise you, I'm going to come back and do a whole segment about smoking in itself, because one thing I can tell you right now, if you ever wanted to do one of the leading best things you could do for your health is, if you are a smoker, is to stop. And that's just not putting it out. But let me tell you, it's linked to every major, not only disease process that deals with death, but just sickness within itself as well. So we're going to come back to that one because that one will take a whole lot more time. So the smoking, physical activity, looking at a healthy diet, looking at obesity, watching your cholesterol, monitoring your high blood pressure, and get this, believe it or not, looking at your blood sugars and managing your diabetes. I want to speak just a little bit about that because if you've noticed in the past couple of segments, every time I kind of talk about cardiovascular processes, and we've been talking about pre-diabetes. Well, why have I just been back and forth on those two? Well, one of the reasons is because diabetes really has been considered a cardiovascular disease process. So therefore, you really can't separate out the two. The two are very, very interrelated. And if you don't know this, I will let you know this. If you have diabetes, you're at more risk for having a heart attack. But not only are you at more risk for having a heart attack, you're more at risk for having a silent heart attack. And what do I mean by a silent heart attack? That means you can actually have the disease process going on, but you will not get the regular chest pain or the regular symptoms that would quote unquote tip you off that there's something wrong. I need to go to the doctor, or that clenching your chest. Okay, oh, I'm thinking of having a heart attack. You won't even feel it, nor will you ever see it coming. So when we're really, really talking about managing cardiovascular disease process, looking at diabetes, or we're even taking a step further and looking at pre-diabetes, is definitely one of those risk factors that we really have to take into consideration. But not only that, definitely get into control. This is great and valuable information, and what I really want to do is we're going to spend a couple of segments once again, as I said, just really breaking down these different risk factors one by one so that you can get the best information about not only statistics and what's happening with those risk factors, but what you can do to be able to control them. So I always like to talk a little bit about one of our special subjects here, one of our special patients, DJ. And more or less, I'm using him kind of as our prodigy to see what his transformation will be like. And if you remember, one of the things that DJ did have, he had high blood pressure, and he also has pre-diabetes and the obesity. So therefore, those are some of the risk factors that really did, as you can see, put him at risk. So what are we going to do about this? One of the things I love to do is to be able to educate. I think it's really, really important that you know what's out there, what's been there, and then what you can do about it. So just doing some very, very simple things as far as watching your diet and watching your cholesterol and watching what you eat and watching your sugar intake can be very simple things that you can implement that will help you. I always tell my patients, when you go to the grocery store, just think about hugging the walls. Just stay along the walls. If you just shop along the walls. The reason I say this is because most of the time, the things that are refrigerated are along the walls. So here's what you need to know about that. The things that are refrigerated that are along the walls are the things that are perishable, and the things that are perishable have live enzymes in them, which means they are live foods, and therefore your body, when you consume live foods, have more of an opportunity to be able to obtain nutrients and phytonutrients that helps your body to heal. So when we're really talking about handling any disease process, and if you'll notice, if you go to American Heart Association and even the American Diabetic Association's websites, the first thing they will usually tell you to do if you have any disease process is they tell you to start with what? Diet and exercise. So choosing the right foods to put into your body is definitely one of the best ways to help you to be able to prevent some of these risk factors. So again, hugging the walls. Lean meats, fresh fruits and vegetables. That's your chicken and your fish pretty much. If you have to do pork or steak, make sure that you cut the fat off of those. Lean meats, that's what I mean by that. Fresh fruits and vegetables. Those are going to be the ones that are going to be along the wall. And not only that, if by any chance that let's say your budget doesn't really allow you to do the fresh, frozen is okay. Just if you do the frozen, make sure they're not the prepared frozen ones. That's just a quick tip right then and there to let you know what you can do in reference to your diet. The other tip I want to give you is when it comes to physical exercise. You've heard me say this before, and I'll reiterate it again. When we're talking about exercising, it's not about intensity, it's about consistency. So I'd much rather see you go on a walk leisurely, even at a leisurely pace, 3 times a week, than to go do 5 miles in 2 hours or an hour, or really, really push yourself 5 days out of the week trying to do that. Because here it is, let's be realistic. How long can you really keep that up? And sometimes we have to take our bodies where our bodies really are. And if you're not physically fit and your body's not used to that type of stress or exercise, it could really cause more damage than actually do you more good. Because at that point, you're really stressing the body beyond what it can handle at that moment. We're talking about conditioning. So you have to build up, build up, and build up with that. So therefore, that's why I always say, not intensity, but consistency. Because that's where you'll get where you want to go. So that right in there, diet and exercise, just a few tips of diet and exercise to be able to help you to know where to start. And then, of course, as I've mentioned again, coming in and doing what I consider to be biomarker testing to find out what's actually happening in your body, and getting with a certified practitioner who is able to guide you along your way to your path to better health and wellness. Well, when I come back, we're going to have an update about DJ, and we will, of course, also do At the Moment with Jake, and give you a little more synopsis about what we're planning on doing in the future here at Wellness Medicine. So once again, I'm Dr. Jelunder Clark. If you want to learn more about us, please go to wellmed.us, and we will see you in just a moment. Well, welcome back. And again, this is Dr. Jelunder Clark here at Wellness Medicine, where we are paving a pathway in medicine to build bridges to optimal health and wellness. People we're looking for are those who are looking for vibrant and optimal health. So we are back, and now we're getting ready for At the Moment with Jake. So Jake.
Dr. Clark.
How's it
another
going?
week. Thanks for asking. It's going very well. I know some of the past segments and what you talked about today with just the staggering statistics with cardiovascular diseases. Pretty astounding when you're looking at here in North America. And that adds a lot of stress. And so one of the things that I mentioned that I was going to be getting involved with was really focusing on me and my health. And going with the mentoring program.
We all are, yes.
Yes. And so it's called the Conscious System Now. And Dr. Francis Miles is actually taking time where we have a book and that he has a book that is written. And what I've learned just started 2 days ago is taking a call to action for myself, realizing it and being aware of, because I'm a believer in God and Jesus is my Savior and the Holy Spirit was within me. So every minute, second of the day, I am having more awareness that He is with me throughout that day. And so it's just great to focus on that. And I'm excited what God's going to do in our lives.
Oh, fantastic. Listen, can you give us more information? Is it still too late to join, or do you know?
I don't think it's too late to join. I think it's info@francismiles.com.
Okay.
We can send out an email.
Okay.
And I'm sure somebody will respond to check on it.
Oh, fantastic. That is absolutely a wonderful program. I'm actually kind of, participating in it myself. So
we're
I think
doing it
that'd
together.
Be awesome.
Absolutely. So we have a lot of great things coming up here with Wellness Medicine.
Good.
the end of July, and this month and next month, we're going to have some really incredible technologies from labs that you use here.
Yes.
And one of them that's going to come up real soon, we'll talk about micronutrition. We've been talking about cardiovascular, so we're going to talk about how the nutritional deficiencies relate to cardiovascular disease. Another lab has a patented technology which is called single molecule counting. So they can detect those biomarkers and predict or prevent cardiovascular disease much sooner than most other technologies out there.
Now, Jake, you know you're talking my language, right?
I know, big, not too big of a but we're excited about that because that's something you offer here.
Yes.
And then also we've had some technology, but we're going to get more into the comprehensive side of this other lab with their menu of biomarkers that they have and how it relates to diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and everything related to that.
Good. So as promised, I told you we got some great, segments coming up. So make sure you all stay tuned.
Okay? So that's what's going on. And I know we're going to have other patients that, I know another patient has lost 45, 50 pounds, lots of inches.
Yes.
So we talked to WINtv a few weeks ago.
Right.
Her results. Of course, we're going to see a segment from DJ today as well.
Okay.
Continued improvement, a lifestyle change. He's actually making a huge difference. Other things that we'll be updating and are coming, we already have a YouTube channel and some Facebook, things going on with you as well. And we'll continue to update. And then the 5K with DJ,
Yes.
We're going to get all that upcoming information. So this is all the things that are going on, coming on, and we'll have a lot of information come out.
Well, I'm really so excited. I like about keeping it real, like our own personal journey. I'm on my own personal journey too as well. May not be exactly where I want to be, but it doesn't matter what's in the past. What matters is what I do today to try to get to where I plan to be. So, I'm still working on it, and I encourage everybody else to, you can join the journey with us and work on it as well, like Jake, myself, and DJ, and of course several other of our wonderful patients here at Wellness Medicine.
We're talking about lifestyle. When we're working on it, we have to work on that every day. We can't just pop a pill or just say, I'm going to do it today or not eat fast food today.
Right.
So it's a lifestyle. And I know we're going to show, DJ came in and we did a little update with him.
Yeah.
And from the time before, he lost another 9 pounds. It just every day.
Just awesome.
He's doing it. The lifestyle, it's really incredible. So we're going to switch over to DJ here in just a moment.
Okay. And
then we'll come back. So DJ, we're proud of you. Dr. Clark is so excited that you're following everything that she's laid out for you and making real changes in your life, and you're going to impact the world. So DJ, let's check it out.
Hi everyone, it's Derek. I am back with Dr. Clark, but I just wanted to give you an update about where I've been and how far I've come. As you know, I was 399 pounds when I first started my journey. And I came to Dr. Clark with so many different issues. I was admitted to the hospital with atrial fibrillation or heart arrhythmia. I was so overweight. I had sleep apnea. I could not get maybe not even a whole hour of sleep some days, just simply because of me stopped breathing. I stopped breathing in my sleep. However, I have come so far. I'm in week 14 now, and I've lost 30 pounds. I have so much more energy than I could tell you. I sleep very well with my CPAP machine, and my overall state of being has just improved from week to week. I've done a lot of things that I needed to do. You see, in this process, I had to have a lot of realizations when it comes to why I keep going back and forth with my weight. Why do I gain weight, so quickly? What is it that I'm doing? And I've lost weight before. I've told you this before. I've lost 100 pounds in 5 months the wrong way. And so when I was gaining that weight back, not only did I gain it all the way back, but I gained almost an additional 60, 70 pounds. So this last go around was the last straw for me. But I had to, like I said, I had to realize some things within myself that made me continue to eat emotional and just, whenever I wanted to. I would eat when I didn't want to. or was when I wasn't hungry. I would eat just because I was happy, just because I was sad, and I had to figure out my triggers. And so what I did was I made a list of all my triggers, and I posted it in my house, my car, my job, anywhere that I knew that I was going to be. I posted where I can see it constantly. So a few of my triggers is money. Money, whenever I get money, I get excited. I want to go to Red Lobster. I want to go to Beanie Hanna's. I want to go wherever I can just to spend this money on food. I became a slave to food. Whatever it was that I wanted, I would just buy it just because I knew I had the money. Another trigger of mine would be Sunday dinners. So after I leave church, everyone knows you're ready to eat. Well, I would not try and eat anything healthy, a salad or anything. I wanted a steak. I wanted fried fish. I wanted fried chicken. I wanted the whole bucket of chicken. I wanted to eat whatever I saw. Another one of my triggers, one of my main triggers, was the influence of other people. If I'm at a party or if I'm at a situation where a lot of people are eating unhealthy food, or it's a lot of food that I love but it's not good for me, if other people ask me to eat, I'm gonna say yes, just simply because I don't want to be rude to them for, they fixed it or wherever we are. I don't want to be rude, but I had to come to the realization that I can no longer accept those things in my life. I have to stick to this lifestyle. This is the only way that I'm going to live. I can't adapt to other people's lifestyle. I have to adapt to my own lifestyle. So wherever I'm at, I have to make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. Because if I don't, all these things are going to keep triggering me to gain weight, to do what's not right. Another thing that I had to do while I'm in transitioning from losing this weight to getting to the better me, I had to make sure that my mind was clear of negativity. I have this thing that's called the negative block, and that's anything that is not positive. I simply have to block it from my mind. And so with that, like I said earlier, I had to let a lot of people go. That included my girlfriend. I've been with my girlfriend for a year and a half, but I realized that she was one of the main factors of why I was so stressed out, why I was so constantly thinking negatively, and why I always, never really fully reached my full potential. Just simply because I loved her, she loved me. However, some things are not meant to be. And if you continue to allow people to hold you back and continue to let people dictate who you are and what you become, then you will never ever be the person that God really wants you to be. And I had to come to that. I had to realize that she's really not meant for me. And so whoever God has for me, I'm happy. I'll wait patiently and continue to work on myself. I can't be with somebody that is not supporting what I'm going through. That includes a lot of my friends, especially people at work. I just went back to work after 4 months of being away from them. So I've just come so far. I do plan on still doing a 5K. I don't know exactly when I'll be able to do it. Hopefully, I will be able to do it in September, like I planned on it. I have to get not only Dr. Clark, but my heart doctor. I have to get approval from them as well. So just continue to pray for me, and just know that I'm doing better. I'm improving. I wish I could be here every week again, but I have to go make some money to pay all my bills, and so I won't be able to come every week. But when I do come, I will always let you see what's going on in my life. I'm very transparent. I make no apologies for who I've become, and I'm very, very thankful. I really do feel like I am heading in the right direction. I know that I will be out of the 300s very soon, and I'm just looking forward to becoming the man that I've always wanted to become. And I thank you, Dr. Clark. I thank everyone who is helping me along this journey. Jake, Dr. Clark's office, everyone. I just want to say thank you so much. And I will see you all when I see you. God bless.
That was awesome. I mean, it's really great to kind of see see this transformation just forming. So DJ, we're really just so very proud of you. I always say at the end of the day, it's not about what I think or what I think you should or should not have done. At the end of the day, it really is about you, and you're doing it, and so praise God for that. And
you mentioned this in an earlier segment, was the consistency.
Yes.
And that is the key. It really is the key, and Derek's proof of that. And what stood out just this last segment, how he's progressed? What's been the latest and greatest thing that you're proud of? DJ?
DJ, I'm gonna tell you, one thing I like about sometimes practicing medicine is sometimes you're not always the giver. Sometimes you're the receiver, and basically your story was actually kind of a testimony for me, but also when you talk about that negativity and really wiping that out of your mind to be able to move forward, I think that was really great for me. I don't mind telling you that, because that's one thing we didn't really even talk about to a certain extent, but you really went further and deeper to look at those actual issues and went ahead and implement the plan. So I'm really thankful and grateful for for that information, what you're doing on that, and those triggers. Those triggers are so important, because even myself, I have triggers. I don't mind telling them, to be personal about it. It's kind of been a stressful week here. I had my family reunion. I saw people in my family in town. It's been wonderful. I've been eating kind of whatever it is I want to eat, but at the end of the day, what I really need to do is, even like DJ said, come back and just realize what triggers what we do not need to do in order to keep ourselves healthy, and then get rid of the negativity, and then focus on what we do need to do in order to be able to keep ourselves healthy.
And one other thing too, I'm really proud of DJ, is he's being disciplined, he's consistent, he's following what he needs to do, making those lifestyle changes, but he's thinking it through and understanding, and he's making that choice to improve it. He's decided that he's going to do it, and because I love healthy nutrition, and I always want to help people, but people aren't always willing to make the sacrifice,
that is.
And invest in themselves, and he's doing that, and that's what wellness medicine is all about, and what you are paving the pathway for Derek to get these results.
So Derek, you keep up the great work, and of course, if y'all out there listening, please join us on the journey. And again, if you ever want to know more about what we're doing, check us out at wellmed.us. That's WELLNED.us. Well, once again, I'm Dr. Jelunder Clark here at Wellness Medicine, where we are paving a pathway in medicine to build bridges to your optimal health and wellness. We're looking to have a better you for a better world. So take care, and I'll see you next week.